Bills.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.
Hello, thank you for tuning into another edition of the Bills Canvas here only on the Do Champions Media Network. I'm your host, Pat Bruckness. You can find me on Twitter at Pat_Bruckness. And as always, to the right of me, I believe to your guys' left, I'm here with my co-host, Tommy G. Amber. Tommy G, where can everybody find you and how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Pat. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Another week, week of Bills football. And I can't wait to be there. Can't wait to watch this team in action. It's been too long.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're going to the game Sunday night, right?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. And quick little plug right there. Make sure you stay up to date with everything Do Champions on all of our social medias, as we will be having some live coverage of the game. So definitely make sure to stay tuned for that. But Tommy, where can everybody find you?
Everybody can find me. Everybody can find me on X at GambraT and everywhere else on my socials as Tommy Gambra.
And Tommy Gambra is a TikTok star. So let me tell you, Tommy is always posting on TikTok and honestly keeps me up to date on some things while I'm at work. So Tommy, I definitely appreciate your coverage on TikTok.
Oh yeah, man. I'm trying to keep it up because like I said, this is the most I've done it since a while. So like I've been keeping up with it this year. So
the last few years, you weren't posting on TikTok that much, but now, you're back in full surgeons. Kind of like me with Do Champions. I'm back. I'm glad to be back, and where I belong. And you're meant to be posting on TikTok. It's just, you gained over 300 followers in the last 3 months.
I guess so. Yeah, I'm trying, man. Trying to keep up my followers. So
yeah,
everybody follow me again.
Right, and we do have a question here from Bills Mafia J718. Hey, gents, y'all new at this? I'm debating on opening a Bills channel myself. How was it starting up?
Oh,
I will say at the beginning, then I'll let Tommy go. For me, we have been doing this. What time? This is our seventh week.
Seventh or eighth week. Yeah, we've been doing good.
Yeah, and you definitely should. It's always great to get your opinion out there. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody should voice their opinion. And as far as starting out, at first it's gonna be hard, especially if you don't have a co-host. I definitely recommend getting a co-host and let that be somebody that you get along with very well.
Yes.
For that way, it's good conversation back and forth. But yeah, starting off, the best advice I would say is you're not going to see a high viewer count in your first few weeks. And because obviously you got to get your name out there, definitely make sure you plug your stuff on social media and just stay consistent at it. It's definitely humbling in the beginning, but in the end, it usually works out. And I hope it really does go well for you.
Yeah, I would say as well, just stay confident. Open up your voice about the Bills and just let everything out that you got content from sources or whatever, and just be yourself and have a good host with you, and just be confident. That's what I would say. Yeah.
And Tommy, I'm glad you're doing this with me, man. I know we talked about this for quite some time. Back with your days with another podcast network that I was also on. Ended up doing a show with Matt, but then finally everything along. I had a few co-hosts later, but I'm finally glad to be doing it with somebody. I enjoy doing it with Matt and Student.
Yep.
But Tommy, I'm glad to have you as my co-host, man.
So am I.
I'd rather do this with.
Yes, this is the best.
And Tommy, you got a TikTok follower. Julie follows you.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Thank you, Julie, for the follow.
So yeah, Tommy, last week the Bills did have their preseason debut against the New Jersey Giants, and it wasn't the outcome we were looking for, but there definitely was a lot of good things that happened in that game for the Bills. Mm-hmm. So let me start off by getting your opinions on the game. Then I'll give you mine.
Yeah. So for the game, some things I noticed were Matt Milano, he's in game shape. If I were the Bills, I would rest him the rest of the two games because I just don't want him to get hurt. So I know he's ready to go. Our running back situation, I feel good. I feel good with of course with James Cook. He's back in Buffalo for the next 4 years. But with Ray Davis, he had some nice holes to run through. He looked pretty good. Ty Johnson, he's explosive as ever. I mean, yeah, I think he's ready to go, so we don't have to worry about there. So, like I said, like we have that three-headed monster going into the season, which is going to be very helpful to Josh Allen. Some other Shavers. I mean, he looks explosive. What do you think about him, Pat?
Yeah, Tyrell Shavers. I've been a big fan of Tyrell Shavers. I had him in a few sleeper leagues last year in a dynasty league. And let's start with Tyrell Shavers. Last week he had 2 catches for 75 yards.
Yeah.
Led headline by a 55-yard catch by Mitchell Trubisky before half, which is how the Bills ended up getting a field goal there. Yeah. And I felt like overall he had a solid game. I think he had a few drops, but I know Zach Davidson did as well. I know we'll talk on him later. But overall, I saw from Tyrell Shavers, he's a guy who is battling for that one of the final spots in the receiver room, because the top of his pretty already locked up. You got Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Josh Palmer, Curtis Samuel, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah,
Elijah Moore, that's 5. The Bills usually carry 5. They don't typically hold a 6, but when you are this good in the receiver room, I mean, what about KJ Hamler, Tommy?
Yeah,
Tyrell Shavers too, because I mean, Jalen Virgil was released.
Yeah,
he was on the roster last year.
Yeah.
Now, do they try getting Jalen Virgil on the practice squad? I don't know. I mean, as we saw, KJ Hamler is a hard knock star. But
right. I think with KJ Hamler, I think at best, I think he's gonna definitely be a lock for the practice squad. So unless he gets poached, which I don't think he will, I think he's one of the top locks to make our practice squad, because I just don't know if he's going to be able to fit the roster with how many guys we have currently. And with Shavers balling out the way he did, like I think he's made it tough, for some of these other guys to make the team. So I think he might be a lock to make the team now.
Yeah, but yeah, before I continue on that, Bills Mafia J718 says, I hate social media. I just want to discuss Buffalo football and straighten out some of these fair weather fans that are ready to throw the towel when things don't go right. Go Bills. Yeah, Bills Mafia, definitely go Bills. And that is one thing I always tell people, like people in my friend group and everything like that are, like Bears fans, Vikings fans, Steelers fans, Jets fans, Giants fans, whatever, Eagles fans. I'm like, if the Bills lose a preseason game, it's the end of the world. Fire Sean McDermott, release Josh Allen, trade him, save him. So definitely, I do think there has to be somebody out there that is willing to do that. So I definitely agree with you. I think you should do it.
I was gonna say, just remember, guys, too, like they're not gonna give out their playbook week 1 of the preseason. So they're running all vanilla stuff that you're not gonna see mostly into the season. Like all this stuff that they're running now, it's just stuff that they have like in their playbook they're not even going to show during the season. So just don't worry about like what plays they run or how what they're doing. It's all vanilla.
Yeah, but Tommy, I saw the Bills give up a 3rd and long on a screen on the first drive of the game. I shouldn't freak out. No, but in all seriousness though, Julie asked, what do we think about the QB2 position? I think right now it is a competition. I don't think Shane Buechele is really in this competition. I think it's more Mitchell Trubisky and Mike White. But you are seeing that if Brandon Beane said on Hard Knocks, Mitch is playing well. And, Mitch has the playoff experience with the Bears. He's played for the Steelers, played in multiple systems. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to who does Josh Allen prefer to be in that QB room with them. And now we've seen it 2 years now. Josh Allen has done well with Mitch Trubisky in that quarterback room with them.
Yeah.
No knock on Mike White or Shane Buechele. I'm sure they're very knowledgeable. But it seems like Josh Allen has a preference, and I think it's Mitch Trubisky. Without going too much further into it, because we'll talk about it later. Tommy, what do you think?
I do have the edge to Mitch Trubisky, but for him though, like he did miss a lot. He did miss some reads to, especially one. I think it was a crosser route to Elijah Moore. Like if he would have hit Elijah Moore on that crosser route, like it would have been a touchdown. So he's got to get his vision more but better. But then again, when I saw Mike White, like he struggled out of the gate, and that kind of had me worrisome a little bit there. But I still think though Mitch Trubisky is going to be the quarterback 2 behind Josh Allen. And like I said, if they keep 3, then it would be Mike White. But I don't know if they're going to have enough room to keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster.
See, I don't think they can keep 3 quarterbacks on the roster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad Bills Mafia brought this up because we'll be talking about this a little bit later. But I'm glad the Cook signing is over with. I'm ready for them to move on from Cook. Ooh, really?
Oh.
If he got greedy, okay, that makes sense. But I'm glad it worked out. We need some insurance at safety with Rapp and Cole being injured on and off.
That's another thing.
especially with Taylor Rapp that leaves with his head all the time. He's always has a concussion. I mean, look, he missed the AFC Championship game. A player's best ability is availability. And for a guy like Cole Bishop, who has missed 2 training camps now, 2 very crucial training camps to point that out, too. It's his rookie year, now his second year. And now he's expected to be a starter, which we'll get into the depth chart later and everything like that. But you got to stay on the field. And I do agree we do need insurance at safety. And maybe it's Derek Forrest. We'll see how he pans out. I thought he was And I know DeMar Hamlin, which I'll get on here in a few minutes, I was not impressed with him at all. But yeah, I'm glad that James Cook was done.
Did Hancock play a little safety in that game too on Pat?
I want to say he did, along with Cam.
I thought he graded pretty well in that game as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I definitely have to take a look into that. But that's what I mean. I was reading the preseason reaction. It is ridiculous. I'm the glass half full type of fan.
Mm-hmm.
No quit until the clock reads 0. I agree. That's how it should be. Even in the 13-second game, I'm like, I had a few family members celebrating. I'm like, it's not over yet. It's not over yet.
Right.
Until the clock hits 0, then I'll celebrate. I'm not gonna lie. I was jumping around. I visioned the AFC Championship game in Buffalo, but in the sport like football, you have to wait until that clock hits 0.
Did you hear the clip with Brandon Beane in the on the Bussin' podcast? What he said?
How he will go through a table? He's gonna do some stupid shit.
No. I'm saying how he almost acquired Von Miller in that during that season. Like he was.
He did get a deal in place.
Inch line of getting Von Miller that year. So
right,
could you imagine if we would have had Von Miller in that 13-second game? Like what would have
made up for Tre'Davious White being out?
And so
Mike got into it. Mike got into it after a bit. Yeah, he did. He definitely did catch a rhythm. He had that touchdown to KJ Hamler. Which we'll be talking about here in just a few seconds. But just to recap the Bills-Giants game, I liked what I saw from Ty Johnson. Obviously, he averaged 8.7 yards a carry with 26 yards off 3 carries. And one thing I noticed was a lot of Bills fans were knocking the starting offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I felt like they were opening up sizable holes for the running backs. I mean, I felt like our running backs were able to do whatever they want at some point in that game. I am disappointed, though, that Darrington Evans only got 2 carries and he only had 4 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, even Frank Gore Jr. only had 5 carries for 21 yards. So, I mean, we didn't run the ball a lot in that game. I thought we were going to run the ball way more than we threw the ball.
Right.
I mean, just looking at that very quick, Shane Buechele went 10 for 12, 91 yards. He actually had a pretty solid performance, but he could have led a game-winning drive potentially, but that botched snap basically iced the game. Mitch Trubisky went 9 for 13, 138 yards with 1 touchdown.
Yep.
And Mike White went 8 for 13, 112 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So there definitely is a QB battle there, QB2.
Right. But like I said, with Mitch Trubisky, my only downfall with him is if he would have just made that throw, that crosser route to Elijah Moore, I think, like I said, that could have been a game changer with that, because I think for sure that would have been a touchdown.
I think it would have too, especially with Elijah Moore's speed. Yeah. And that's one thing that I'm kind of disappointed about. We didn't get to see Elijah Moore's ability because, of plays like that where he's open, he's just not getting the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I that's why I'm hoping we see the starters play against Chicago, especially Josh Allen, so we can see how Elijah Moore and Josh Allen connect on the field. And obviously, as we saw in Hard Knocks and things like that, he's getting on the same page with his receivers, but you need to see it in game speed that's not against your own teammates.
Correct. And like I said, Palmer looked really good too, like his first game action. I think he's going to be one of them beasts, and I'll get into that later on. But he's going to be a target for Josh to rely on.
He will, and especially on that 3-year contract, he definitely will be a part of this offense. Now, just to recap my thoughts on the Bills-Giants game, I thought Joey Bosa was living in the backfield when he was out there, especially stopping the run. It looks like he was living in the backfield the whole time.
Yeah,
I mean, you saw him pushing around the Giants left tackle all game. It would have been awesome to see what if this was a legit game and this was in the regular season. What Joey Bosa's stat line would have been.
Yeah, it would have been
awesome.
It would have been great. Yeah, I think he's going to be so good for us on defense.
Yeah, he will be. And let's stay on the defensive side of the ball, Tommy. Let's talk about Deion Walker. He was the highest graded rookie defensive tackle in the preseason with a 92.8 PFF grade. Now, when he went in there with I believe it was like one of his first plays of the game, and he got right past that double team and put his hand over there and just deflected and smacked the ball down.
Right.
I'm like, oh my goodness. And I love that pick because he is a guy who should have been a 5 to 15 pick 2 years ago.
Right.
But due to that lower stress fracture in his back, he fell to us in the fourth round the following year.
Mm-hmm.
So we legitimately got a guy who's a first round talent in the fourth round the next year. I love what he brings to the table. And we're seeing the beginning of it. This could be our version of Jalen Carter if it pans out.
Right. And like I said, this is one of our guys. Whittle loves the pick. So like I was intrigued by it too, like because I knew he had talent, I knew he has the size, and I felt like he definitely could fit our defense. And just wait, maybe not this year, but maybe year 2, year 3, that's when you're gonna see the explosiveness of our new defensive tackle, Deion Walker.
Right, and very quick, let's get into this very quick. Bills Mafia really hopes Shavers gets a shot at making the 53. The guy could be a diamond in the rough. I agree with that 1,000%.
I agree with that.
I am not from Buffalo. I am from Chicago. And Tommy?
Yeah, I live in Virginia right now, but I was born in Buffalo, so I've been a long time Bills fan.
Yeah, Tommy's one with the Buffalo roots, and I'm just a fan that fell in love with the Bills playing Madden. I fell in love with their team logo, and then I played a game with them. My man was like 8 or 9 years old. Fell in love with those dark navy blue jerseys, which a lot of people are like, wait, what? But yeah, hoping to make the last home opener at the Ralph. That would be an awesome game to go to.
That would be awesome if you could make that Bills Mafia.
It would be. What would be
especially
more
with
awesome,
the red uniforms coming out too,
right? And that would be awesome.
Yeah, with the red.
What about the final game though, Tommy? The AFC Championship game in Buffalo. Woo-hoo. Send the Bills off to California.
That's the dream right there. Like if you can get that AFC Championship game in Buffalo and you actually win it, oh my! Just imagine what that city's what they're gonna do when to get to that Super Bowl.
Right. And Julie says, either way, if something happens to Josh, we are screwed. I agree. I mean, with Josh Allen can do what every other quarterback in the NFL can do. No other quarterback can do what Josh Allen can do.
No.
I've said that for the last 3 years, and I truly do mean it. If you put Joe Burrow on the Bills will make the playoffs.
Great.
If you put Josh Allen on the Bengals are in the playoffs. Same with the Eagles. The Eagles are very good, but if you put Josh Allen on the Eagles, look out.
Yeah.
But yes, but let's not push the type of energy out in the NFL universe, please. Bubba wrap until the season starts. Yes.
I
knock
agree.
on wood.
Yes.
No injuries. I don't care if we don't win a game in the preseason. Just stay healthy.
Just stay healthy.
We got a tough game week 1. It's
Yep.
not going to be easy. As we know, the Ravens are Mr. Regular Seasons. Their regular season team don't really perform well in the playoffs, but that doesn't matter. It's a new year.
Right.
And you got to win this. If you want a chance at the 1 seed, you have to win week 1.
Yep.
Don't put yourself behind the 8 ball to start the year.
Right.
But yeah, Tommy. So another defense. Yeah.
I was gonna say like my negative player I had for the Giants game. I was down on Dane Jackson a lot. Like I just felt like he was getting beat by his man constantly, and then giving up that big touchdown play. Who caught that? Was that I forgot who made the touchdown play, but he had given
Marset.
Okay.
Yeah. Jackson Dart. Yes.
Yeah, I just felt like he wasn't in the right spots, and I feel like he could be a weakness if he's out there starting day 1 for us.
Yeah, no, I think I put him on the same level as Kyer Elam. Sometimes he's in the right place, but he's not the best option.
Right.
But
that's my down arrow for him.
Right. Let's talk about a guy very quick that had a pretty good game last week, and that's TJ Sanders.
Oh yeah.
I thought overall, Tom, he played a pretty good game. Obviously, he didn't put up any sacks or anything like that, but it wasn't a pretty numbers game. But if you go back and watch it, he did really well. He was containing his spot in the line. He was stopping the run, like I just stated. I feel overall that's all you can ask for from this defensive line.
Right. He's got
he had some pressures as well.
Yeah, he's got some speed, and like he had a lot of good pressures. Like I'm impressed from the rookie. I think he could make an impact either day 1 or like week 2, week 3. Like I think he's going to be a guy that's going to come in fresh, and he's going to beat his man, get the pressures, maybe get a sack or two. He's just a guy that I think will fit our defensive line perfectly.
Yeah, I know he was comped to Ed Oliver. He's a 3-tech. If anyone does not know what a 3-tech is, it's basically a guy that's a little bit smaller, a guy that's not going to eat up spaces like Vita Vea is a 1-tech, Deion Walker is a 1-tech with 3-tech abilities. So I definitely love what you get out of TJ Sanders. And, we have a few of those guys on our line already. You got Ed Oliver, Dwayne Carter, and now TJ Sanders as well.
Yeah, we got some good defensive tackle.
Right. And now if it's a 3rd and long situation, me personally, I'm putting Ed Oliver out there and I'm putting TJ Sanders out there. So just let them rush the quarterback. That's what they do best. And obviously TJ Sanders is a little bit bigger. So I would assume that TJ Sanders will eat the double team. And we saw what happens when Ed Oliver has a serviceable defensive tackle right next to him, a 1-tech or a 3-tech. Ed Oliver's going to put up. That's something that we didn't have last year with Daquan Jones. That's why Ed Oliver only had 3 sacks. Because Ed Oliver's probably taking on double team by guys combined weight of probably about 500 pounds, 600 pounds. And Ed Oliver's 280?
Yeah.
So now that we got the stars for the defensive line out of the room, let's talk a little bit about some of the offensive players. And let's start with a camp darling, Christian Wilkerson. He had 1 catch for 20 yards, Tommy, but he did have that one-handed snag that was caught out of bounds. I felt overall, with the poor quarterback play, he was getting open. Yeah. So he should have had a few more catches. I know he had a few more targets as well.
I like his size at the position, too. Like, what is he, 6'1", 6'2"?
Yes, he's 6'1".
Yeah, I like the size. And, like, he's a guy that he could beat his man, and like I said, he almost grabbed in that catch. Like if he would have just got that one toe in bounds, like that would have been the catch of the day. And I think our fans would have like went crazy and stuff at the stadium and everything. Like, oh man, this is going to be a darling for our team and everything else. I think there's maybe a shot. Maybe he could, crack the practice squad, but we need to see what he does game 2 and see if he can actually maintain the reps, get comfortable with his routes and make the catches when needed.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you. If they can play special teams, that's gonna be a plus for them. Yeah. But when you're already behind the 8 ball and you're battling a LaVisca Chenault, you're battling a Tyrell Shavers, a KJ Hamler for that final spot, you got to show out. You can't just have 1 catch. Even if it's not yourself, you got to make yourself available to the quarterback. So there's definitely things that he can improve on, but I'm definitely interested to see how these final 2 games go for him. Yeah. But then that kind of leads me to the next point I want to talk about, Tommy. We already went over Tyrell Shavers. We already went over Ray Davis, Ty Johnson. Let's show some love to KJ Hamler, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's a guy who obviously gives me, you talked about it just last night. KJ Hamler gives us Little Dirty vibes, and that's Isaiah McKenzie.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. 1 catch, he gives me so much McKenzie vibes. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, he does. And it's just, kind of like the same like gadget type player, can play special teams, smaller, and you see that too if you watch Hard Knocks, which we'll talk about here in just a few moments.
On the positive side, he's got that speed that he can burn a guy, just like you saw on Hard Knocks and in the game, like when he was like, oh crap!
Yeah, when he ran that post, when he ran that post, he's like, oh no, you're fine.
Yeah, I don't want to say a word, but when he said that, he was like,
oh shit.
Yeah, wide open, and he makes that catch, and I'm like, oh my god, that was amazing. So like he's one of them scrappy guys. Like I don't see how he doesn't make our practice squad. I think he's one of the top guys to make our practice squad.
Yeah, no, and Sean McDermott and Brandon Bean, they preach culture. And that's a culture guy right there. That's the guy who is truly being himself. And that's what the Bills want. But at the same time, just not your personality is not going to get you a job on this team because this is a Super Bowl contending.
You got to work hard. You have to earn it.
Right, and I think that's a good start that we saw out of him.
Yep.
Now, Bills Mafia says, "Oh, y'all getting me hype. Love the positive vibes." That's kind of what me and Tommy do. We're usually we're on the positive sides of Bills fans. We're not pessimistic. Yeah. So I've been through the pain of 3 out of 4 Super Bowl. I am so sorry. I can just imagine.
Sorry about that, Mafia man.
I've said I'm glad I would never have to live through the wide right that it happened. I'm like, oh, that was pain. The 13-second game was pain. Yeah. But last year differently because Josh Allen got that first down on the QB sneak, which. It is what it is, Tommy. But
it is, yeah.
Now, I'm kind of glad Bills Mafia and Julie brought up Dane Jackson. Dane is iffy, but he does make plays every so often. Hopefully, Babish straightens him out. That's kind of what I'm hoping, too. I'm hoping Babish can straighten him out, and Julie says the same thing. Dane is a subpar backup. He was a starter in Carolina, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he was.
But, yeah, Dane Jackson is a guy who, just like Kyrie Elam, he's going to be in the right play. He's going to be in the right place at sometimes. But when he's not, his lows are higher than his highs, if that makes any sense. You'll see his bad plays will be impactful, but his good plays will be impactful too. But like those daggers that we saw in the 13-second game, he's playing off off coverage on Travis Kelce, just lets him get right through. Stuff like that we can't have. And that's the same thing that we had with Kyrie Elam in the AFC Championship game. He's backpedaling 15 yards. Then they're running a quick in route. And then they're taking it for 15 yards because Kyrie Elam can't tackle.
Right. It's like, yeah.
And then Julie says, what do you guys think about what Poyer said about not wanting a finished jersey? You think we should give him a one-day contract to retire a bill? I'm glad you brought this up, Julie, because I was talking to Matt Duggan about this just last night or the night before last night. And I said, could you see the Bills potentially doing with signing Jordan Poyer to the practice squad, somewhat like how they did with Micah Hyde last year? Matt said no. I think it's a possibility.
I think it's a possibility too. I don't see him playing the position or playing on this team. I do maybe see him maybe playing like a Micah Hyde role, going on the practice squad and like being around the team, given the leadership, talking to the guys, maybe something like that. But I doubt he would be on the field playing with the guys.
Yes, I agree with you, Tommy. But if not, I would definitely give Jordan Poyer. If we win the Super Bowl this year, you give him a ring. If we win a Super Bowl with Jordan Poyer, we'll get a ring because he was part of this culture. But yeah, if we don't sign him to one-day contract, let him retire a bill.
Yeah,
truly, because I love Jordan Poyer. I love, minus what he did to Keon Coleman. I know it was a football play, but last year when he fractured Keon Coleman's wrist on the final drive, Bill's final drive. No, it wasn't their final drive, was it? No, it's their second to last final drive.
I think.
But yeah. Anyways, Poyer plays hard. I love. Was a huge backbone to this Bills defense with Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, the best safety tandem in the NFL from 2019 to 2023 was like that final year where they started falling off. Yeah, but I love Poyer, and I'll definitely. Yeah, I'm pretty sure him and Micah Hyde both will be on the wall of fame.
100%.
Now, Bills Mafia says no. Poyer's playing days over. Maybe as a coach, kind of like what Hyde did.
That's what I was saying. Sorry. Put him in the Hyde role, and then we'll just go from there.
Glad you guys are positive. I waste more time defending our own Bills fan pages. Those social media college coaches are frustrating to deal with. Yes, they are. Especially if you hop onto some Twitter spaces, you'll definitely see some pessimistic Bills fans. Yeah, it can be so frustrating. Some of them would knock Josh Allen. It's like, but Josh Allen can't win a big game. Really? It's Josh Allen's fault? He has the highest touchdown to interception ratio in the NFL. I don't want to hear Josh Allen can't play in the playoffs.
He just has
bad luck. He's the best.
I mean, he's perfect in these games. He just cannot get, like I said, it's just different situations where they just can't get it done. It's nothing to do with Josh Allen. It's just he's usually good when the games are on the line and stuff. He's usually automatic. It's just there's other circumstances that happen that just don't get us to where we need to be.
Right, and he has the highest touchdown interception ratio in the NFL. Second is Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen's at 6.3 touchdowns per interception ratio. Mahomes is at 4.6. Right. So, I mean, really, when the lights are the brightest, Josh Allen performs well. Look at his primetime record. Look at his numbers, his win-loss record, his numbers against top 10 defenses. Josh Allen's not the issue. It's the defense, and I think they fixed that this year.
I do too, yeah.
But Tommy, because they followed that Eagles and Buccaneers plan of if you rush forward, you have a great front four, let them get pressure and drop 7. So the Eagles did it last year, and the Buccaneers did it in 2020. Yep. But the Eagles just demolished them. So did the Buccaneers, but the Eagles, man, Right. But to finish off this Bills-Giants game, I'll give you my good player, my bad player. My good player, I already talked about Joey Bosa, so I won't go much more into that. I believe this Joey Bosa signing is going to be what we thought Von Miller is going to be, pre-ACL. Yeah. And, just because if he can stay healthy, he will be a top 10
he looks amazing, Pat. I mean, I just saw him wow, this is the Joey Bosa I want to see in the regular season.
Right, and with our training staff and with the way we rotate our defensive line, he'll be fine. We've proven that we can win in the playoffs with an A.J. Epinesa and a Javon Solomon. Yeah. And a Gregory. We don't need that impact guy, but in the playoffs we do. And I think that's what Joey Bosa is. Yep. Now, my bad player is DeMar Hamlin. We saw it, Tommy. We already talked about it. I felt there was a few times where he's in the wrong spot, and he took some bad angles. I mean, his ankles got broken on a play where he was 5 yards off the ball carrier. Yeah. And on that touchdown, Jackson Dart's first touchdown of his career to Smith Marset. Right. DeMar Hamlin's jogging and letting Dane Jackson get cooked. You're the safety. Why are you so far behind? You're supposed to be playing up. Obviously, I don't know the play call, but if you go back and watch it, it looks like he was supposed to be on that high left side of the field, covering that. Yeah. But he wasn't. So that's my bad player.
I feel like he wouldn't have probably been on the field much if Taylor Rapp and Cole Bishop were healthy. But I mean, we did get some good news on that front that they've been practicing, I think, almost in full the other day.
Yes,
so
yesterday they're doing the tackling dummies.
That's a plus that they're getting on track for the regular season.
Yeah, I'm glad Bills Mafia said this. Tommy, you want to read this?
Yeah, Bills Mafia said only thing Mahomes has over Josh is the coach. Allen is the most talented quarterback in the league. Not trying to sound like a homer, but it's the truth. Kincaid makes that catch, we win that game, no doubt. I 100% agree. If Kincaid does pull that catch in, that's like I said, the first down. And I think we go down there and drive and we win that game. 100% Mafia.
I agree, Bills Mafia, and I think if they would have called that play, even Josh Allen said with busting with the boys, he thought he had that first time. He's going back on the field. If either one of those two plays are made or called correctly, the Bills do win that game. And I've been saying this since Josh Allen's rookie year. He has the potential to be the best quarterback in the NFL, and he is. Now, nobody will be able to deny him once he wins a Super Bowl. And once he wins a Super Bowl, I'm going to start my top 5 of all time debate with just his pure quarterback ability. Josh Allen is the most athletically gifted quarterback you will ever see. If you were to create a player in Madden, you make it after Josh Allen.
100%.
So,
and if we were to been in that Super Bowl, I think that game would have been a lot closer than a lot of people would have thought too.
Yeah, because our offensive line is light years better than Kansas City's.
Yeah.
Josh Allen sacked 14 times last year. He wasn't sacked in the playoffs, I believe. Or he was sacked once against Kansas City. But anyways, he was sacked under 16 times.
Under 16,
So, and we do good against mobile quarterbacks. I mean, we should have beaten Philly last year. No, was that last year? Yeah, no, that was 2 years ago. No, that was last year.
That's correct, Julie. He did have that first down. I 100%.
He did have that first down, Julie.
First down. It's just officiating needs to get their crap together.
Yeah, I mean, the first line judge came on and said first down. Then another guy comes lying and say he didn't get it.
Yeah,
but the first one had the better view. Another visual measurement, another rule change due to the Bills Chiefs, and it's just unfortunate that the Bills have been on the wrong side of it. Eventually, it's going to go their way. It's going to make everything sweeter once it does.
Right. Yeah.
Tommy, let's talk about James Cook. I know you've been talking about this the last few weeks, man. James Cook.
He was the last guy to get that contract. Now we have all four of our main core guys signed, and this is where it happens, man. You're on that run to get the Super Bowl, hopefully in the next 4 years with Josh Allen still in his prime. I mean, you wanted to get these guys signed, and you did it. So
right, and let's shout out to Terry Pagula too for dishing out the money and not being with the Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, thank you, Terry Pagula. And the Bills ownership, Terry Pagula, Ken Pagula, have dished out over $600 million in extensions this year. Christian Benford, Taron John, not Christian, not Taron, just Terrell Bernard, Greg Rousseau, James Cook, and Josh Allen.
No, Christian Benford.
Christian Benford and Khalil Shakir, yes.
Yeah, and Shakir.
I don't know why I said Taron Johnson. So, yeah, shout out to them for extending them. But the most recent one is, who is it, Tommy?
James Cook. Let him
cook. Yes, let him cook. If you look at his contract, if you just give it a little bit of an eye test, it's a 4-year, $48 million contract, $30 million guaranteed.
Yeah.
But if you take a deeper dive to it on Spot Track, you will actually see that it's a 4-year, $46 million base contract. $15.28 million guaranteed at signing. So as soon as he put his name to paper, he got $15.28 million. $10.6 million more next February/March. $10.3 million in 2025 cash. A $1 million in 28 to 2029 season escalator. So it's practically a 3-year, $30.1 million deal.
Yep.
And Cook carried. Oh yes, I already said the 3 years, 30.1. Now, it did free up the Bills $2.2 million of 2025 cap space.
Right.
Now, this deal does include a team-friendly cap hit of $5.8 million for 2026 due to a double bonus structure. So I'm assuming he's getting 2 bonuses next year, as I already stated, with the next February/March, he gets that $10.6 million.
Right.
Overall, Tommy, I don't think he was ever going to get $15 million like Dalvin stated.
No.
Or $15-20 million. But I think that Kyron Williams deal kind of put, because they had similar stats, similar snap percentages and everything like that. They are very similar in yards as well.
Yep.
So seeing that, I think James was like, okay, we're not going to get much more than that.
Right. I think that when we saw that contract come out, I think we got a little hope that we're saying, okay, now that we see the numbers, I think we're going to get close to what we're going to get with Cook, and I felt confident that they would nail this deal down. So I mean, it's crucial that we got him for the next 5. it's going to be 5 years, including this year. So like, and like I said, hopefully he won't decline. Hopefully he'll still, put up the numbers and, get the yards and everything he needs to get incentives and stuff like that. But I like the deal, and after seeing the deal on Spot Check, I think Pat, that we can actually now afford to give an extension to Connor McGovern after seeing that contract.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people. I'm not going to name any names from us, other networks, that kind of just threw something out there, and it's just incorrect. The Bills, with the cap continuing to go up each year for the next few years, they can definitely afford a Connor McGovern and a Osiris Torrance. I'm not worried about that.
I think so
if
too.
Let one of them walk, even if they let a David Edwards walk.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe they'll let him walk.
Anderson, Tyron Grable, Richard Garage, and
they always find gems. They always find gems on the O line, usually in the draft too. So like they could easily get an Edwards replacement in the next year's draft if that's what it takes.
Right, and the Bills have always had a good center in the Josh Allen tenure.
Yeah,
he had Mitch Morse, and then he had Connor McGovern. McGovern's dude. He's not.
I think they're gonna find a way to get that contract done either this year or next year. Definitely next year. I think they're gonna definitely try to keep, because I know Josh wants him around. So
right now, Julie says I still don't know how to feel about the Jimbo. The drama was too much. I give him credit though for holding in, not holding out, being there for his teammates, and actually participating in OTAs. I do give him that, but the business side of things is saying that the media doesn't know what he's going through, which is true, and he doesn't care about their opinion. I thought that was a little too much, but at the end of the day, he's signed, and he's a hell of a player, and I'm glad he's here.
Me too.
And
he's vital to this team. He's a vital piece of this team.
I mean, 132 total yards, Tommy, in the AFC Championship game with 2 touchdowns. He didn't. His last touch in that game was the touchdown with 3.
I know, and I always said he needed to get more touches in that Chiefs game in that second half. So
I agree. It was not Joe Brady's best game plan. It wasn't. But he's going to learn, and you learn from the mistakes. Be better each day. It's one of my favorite sayings. Then Bills Mike says, I don't know where Bean got the money for Cook. Everyone says we're broke. Yet Bean pulls off. We saw majority of our own big baller Bean strikes against the Bills. I
think Terry Pagula had a lot to do with that deal as well. So let's give him some credit. I think he might have scooped up some money somewhere too with that deal.
Yeah, always restructure. Brandon Bean is one of the best with Howie Roseman at navigating the cap, making the contracts. You look like a lot, but if you actually break it down, you add some void years, which they did not with James Cook, surprisingly.
Yeah,
it's a very good contract, and everybody says we're broke. But Bean always does it, even with the Von Miller one. That's why when Bean says, "Oh, we're not gonna do nothing big," I never believe that. That's just him, not showing his hands, just showing his poker face. Glad Cook didn't get too greedy though. I would have been okay if we went with David Ty Johnson and Frank Gore Jr. I'd rather spend a big money on defense player other than QB, but I'm glad it worked out for both sides. Yeah, me too. And if we did not sign James Cook, I would prefer to trade him to Dallas from Micah Parsons. So I definitely agree with you there. And Tom, I know you love Frank Gore Jr.
Oh, I do. I mean, it's like I said, it's tough that he's not going to probably make our roster too. I mean, we have so many talented players on both sides of the ball that are going to be poached or like on practice squads. But Frank Gore Jr., he's one of my guys, and it just showed like how at the end of that game they wanted to get him that touchdown, and he missed it by a yard, Pat. Like at the end of that game.
Yep.
And I know the Bills really wanted to get him that touchdown. I mean, it showed on the Hard Knocks episode too. So like Frank Gore Jr., he's always going to be one of my favorite under the radar guys that probably won't make this team, but possibly make the practice squad. And I if he does go to another team, I'll root for him. Hopefully he won't go to like a division rival or something like that. But he's a guy like I'll always root for.
Yeah, I mean, very quick. Frank Gore last week had 5 carries, 21 rush yards, and 4.2 yards per carry, which is above average of 3.6, whatever the league average is. But, Tommy, let's transition to Hard Knocks. I know we already talked about KJ Hamler, but the one thing that me and you both wanted to touch on Hard Knocks, our biggest takeaway, which was
Josh Allen being a leader to this team.
Yes.
I love like that, like he was going through his receivers to tell him, which routes to go, where to be. So like when he throws him the ball, it'll be spot on. And then just giving our quarterbacks like a lot of love and like, making sure like they succeed either with us or wherever they go. He just wants everybody to, succeed and get a good job. And even if it's a backup role or, like I said, if they go to another team, he's a leader and he wants them to succeed as much as possible.
I agree with you. I think this all started last year after the Bills traded Stephon Diggs. I think that's when Josh Allen started to realize that, he is the, one of the veterans in the locker room, and he has to be that for the younger guys. And I think there was a conversation had between Terry Pagula and Josh Allen saying, hey, we need to be more of a leader. And you have seen that last year, like on the sideline, talking with his young receivers. And with Keon Coleman, we started barking saying, hey, I'm open. Josh Allen looked up at Joe Brady to get him off the field. You're not dealing with that. I think that's a big step in leadership. And you're seeing it on full display on Hard Knocks now. Hey, talking to Keon Coleman, hey, I need you here. Can you be there for me? Talking with Josh Palmer, no, I want it ran like this. That's something all great quarterbacks do. You saw Aaron Rodgers do it when he was yelling at his young receivers in Green Bay, and Christian Watson, Devontae Adams. You saw Tom Brady do it all the time. You see Patrick Mahomes do it. It's just something you have to do as a quarterback. You want to be on the same page with your receivers. That's what you have to do. And I think Josh Allen realized after not having Stephon Diggs, he didn't have that chemistry in his back pocket anymore. He didn't like, oh, hey, I'm just going to, look away. And I know Diggs is running a curl about 5 yards out. I know how he runs it. Josh Allen realized, he had to be more of a leader, and he had to mature up a little bit. Not say Josh Allen was not mature, but he realized, he had to be more specific with your details. And that stuff goes a long way. We saw it last year. He won the MVP, and you're seeing it on display now with his younger receivers again. Because, Tommy, outside of last year, besides Khalil Shakir, how many years did all the other receivers have with Josh Allen? Coleman was a rookie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Matt
Collins was a first-year guy.
That's my point.
Who else?
Curtis Samuel was a first-year guy.
Curtis Samuel was a first-year guy. It was mostly just first-year or rookie guys that just stepped up when they had to.
Right, and it's kind of the same thing this year, Tommy. Now you got Coleman in his second year. You got Shakir in his fourth. You have Curtis Samuel in his second with the team. You got Elijah Moore in his first year. And Josh Palmer in his first year.
Yep.
Yeah, so another year, Dalton Kincaid has been putting in a lot of work this offseason. Has taken it very seriously, and I think it was a big year for tight ends. Year 3 and 4 for tight ends, you have to be good.
And like I said, he's still got Ty. I think Ty Johnson's going to be that secret weapon that he's going to be hard to cover.
The third down, the best third down running back in the league.
Third down running back in the league.
I agree with Bills Mafia. JA-17 is just genuinely a good dude all around. How can you not root for the guy? I had hoped that the whole Diggs situation would have worked out. I liked him as well, but those Eagles are career killers. Wish him well better without him. Yeah, I agree. And kind of like with Eli Manning and Jeremy Shockey, once the Giants let go of Jeremy Shockey, or they traded him, I can't remember which one it was. You saw Eli Manning go on and win a Super Bowl, and not having that diva in your ear. Because let's be honest, if you're a top receiver, you call for the ball, rightfully so. But I'm sure, look at that Giants game, Tommy, 2 years ago. Josh Allen force-fed the ball to Diggs, wasn't really moving the ball. And Josh Allen's a guy who likes to spread around the ball. So not having that in your ear, you can think freely. It can do wonders. And it's a shame, it didn't work out. Yeah. But I agree with Bills Mafia. The Bills are better, and Josh Allen in particular is better without Stephon Diggs.
That's why I think Coleman's going to be a big asset to Josh. I mean, if he continues to work and grow, I mean, that's going to be the new combo for the next hopefully 4 or 5 years with Josh here.
Yeah. Now, Tommy, this is your favorite segment of the week.
All right.
Tommy's takes.
Tommy's takes. You ready to pull up the graphic up there, Pat?
Yes, I will pull up the we'll rock
there
this
we
one.
Go. Oh. Yeah, Pat and Tommy. Okay. Is that the one?
Yep, you go.
Okay. All right. For Tommy's takes this week, I got Josh Palmer leading the Bills in receptions this year. I think with him. Yeah, that's my Tommy's take this week, Pat. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? Bringing it hot this week. I just think that connection's gonna feed too. Like, especially if Coleman's drawing double teams, I think it's gonna leave Josh Palmer open a lot. I mean, we saw some action with him this week, and he was running routes and beating his man off, and Trubisky was seeing him, and they got some balls off. So I think this is gonna be a big year for Palmer in this offense.
Yeah, when you look at Josh Palmer, I like that a lot, because if you look at him from 2021, his rookie year, all the way to last year, 2024, he plays in the lowest amount of games he played in was 20. He played in 11 games. Last year, played in 2022, played in 16, and his rookie year he played in all 17. He's been behind two very good receivers going back to his first few years in the league. You got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Then last year you had Quinton Johnson, which he's not the greatest, right? But they also had Ladd McConkey, and they were a run-heavy team last year. So you never got to see Josh Palmer have his skills on full display, just like Elijah Moore. Now, his most yards in a year was 2022 with 769, and I think that's the year Mike Williams missed with a torn ACL.
Right.
One of those years he had an injury, and then he hit 72 catches in 2022 as well. But besides that, he didn't break the 40 reception mark.
Mm-hmm.
And his rookie year he had 33. 2023 he had 38. His 2024 he had 39. And now we have I don't want to say a lot of catches to go around, but I think Josh Palmer will make the most out of his opportunities, which he has done in the past, averaging over 10 yards of carry in each one of his 4 years in the NFL. And with Matt Collins going, I think Matt Collins had 45 receptions, roughly off the top of my head, 50 receptions. So you're gonna get at least those amount of receptions. Right. If you want more, it's just you're gonna have to get open, make yourself available to the quarterback, which Josh Palmer does very well, as he is one of the best route runners in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't think you're far off there, Tommy.
What's up?
I don't think you're far off.
I think that connection, like it's gonna be explosive, man. And you could see maybe Josh Palmer run off some deep plays too, like and get these touchdowns. Like so, I think he's gonna be explosive on this offense.
Yeah, I like that, Tommy. Yep. Let's talk about Pat and Tommy's Audible of the Week.
All right,
this one's near and dear, close to me because of my hometown team. The Chicago Bears. Let's talk a little bit about the Chicago Bears, what they have done this offseason. To kind of preview them, then we'll kind of jump right in to the Bills-Bears game.
Yep.
Caleb Williams is now in his second year in the NFL. He's going on his third head coach already with Matt Eberflus, and they had an interim head coach last year, Thomas Brown. Both of them called plays, so two different offensive coordinators to start already. Now they have Ben Johnson, who will be calling the plays. Eric Bieniemy's in that room as well as their running back coach. They have majority of the same. They're bringing back most of their roster. Obviously, they made key additions to the offensive line, headlined by Joe Thuney. They have DeAndre Swift still. They drafted Coastal Loveland in the first round. And obviously, with having Ben Johnson, you have more creativity in the offense, which we saw in full display with Detroit last year.
Yep.
Now, in the year prior to that, the defensive side of things, much hasn't changed because they are a very good unit. Dennis Allen was their new defensive coordinator, which obviously Ben Johnson wants to get his own guys in there. But they have a very good coaching staff. But Tommy, what do the Bears have to do to be good this year? And what does that take out of kids? Is this like a very good roster, but it comes down to the quarterback?
I'm going to say it comes down to the offensive line, Patrick. I think the big thing for them is protecting Caleb Williams. If they can protect Caleb Williams in a way that he was getting harassed last year, I think the kid, his second year, he could very well improve, especially with the weapons he's got on the outside with Dunze and Moore as their two primary weapons. So the key for me is just keeping him upright, keeping him straight, and hopefully that O-line can take a big step forward than it did last year.
Yeah, and Matt talked about that. The Bears actually had top 10 protected offensive line last year. Caleb Williams created some sacks, which he's going to in his rookie year. And Shane Waldron was their OC, which was bad. Thomas Brown then was bad. So now having Ben Johnson already said that he would rather put more on Caleb Williams and peel some off than not put enough on him. So that's basically my Audible of the Week for the Bears. Now we can kind of preview this game, and we can talk about what Bills Mafia just said right here. Good take on Palmer with two young guys in their prime years with the elite quarterback. I think one of those two will have career years or be a productive receiver. And then you add Coleman. Coleman and Shakir can't wait. Yeah, I agree with that. And any wide receiver who has played with Josh Allen has had his best year of his career. Cole Beasley, John Brown, Stephon Diggs. Now you have a chance to talk about a Josh Palmer, which I think he will. He's on a 3-year contract. Obviously, the Bills have big plans for him. The sky's the limit for these guys if they make the most of their opportunity. Let's not forget Elijah Moore was a 2nd-round pick with top 4.2 speed.
Yeah.
So, Tommy, talking about Bills-Bears, what the Bears starters are playing in that game, how long will they be playing is yet to be known. Now, what are you looking for into that game?
I'm looking forward to the defense again. I want to see like what pressures they bring this time around, and if guys like Bosa and Epinesa and Russo and the rest of the D line, if they play, like I want to see them, win their gaps and get pressure on Caleb Williams as long as he plays. I think he's playing. He's playing, right? Like maybe a
Yes,
quarter.
the starters are playing all of them. Yes.
So see if he gets they get pressure on the quarterback and but yeah, my main focus will probably be on defense this week.
Okay, yeah. See, when I look at this game, I just want to see them come out of this game healthy, as I've said. I said it last week. I'm saying it again this week. But what am I looking forward in seeing? If I want to see how our rookie corners, guys like Dorian Strong.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not trying to get too much into who my player spotlight is for offense and defense. But I want to see how our corners will match up, especially, the younger guys like the Dorian Strongs, the Dane Jacksons, God forbid if he has to play. I want to see how they match up against a guy like DJ Moore, a guy who's a very good route runner, and how they match up against Roma Dunze as well. That's a guy who's been very good as well. Top pick number 9 last year in the draft.
Yeah.
And they drafted Luther Burden, who could have been a first-round talent.
Right.
I felt like, but obviously he fell to the second round to the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
They have a good receiver room over there. They have a good offense over there. I want to see how our defensive line handles their offensive line. And I want to see just the trenches, man. I want to see how our offensive line holds up against Montez Sweat and Javon Dexter, who had, I believe, 9.5 sacks last year. So it's kind of majority what I'm looking for. And I want to see if Josh Allen were to play, I want to see how he matches up well in game speed with Josh Palmer and Elijah Moore.
Right.
That's what I'm looking forward to seeing in that game. And I want to see a little bit more of Keon Coleman.
I do too, yeah.
Nowhere to be found in the preseason week in the first game.
Yep.
So I want to see how he does in the second game. Hopefully we get some more targets. We can actually see Keon shine a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So Tommy, give me your player spotlight for that game.
Okay, I got two. I'm going to do one on offense, one on defense. So my first one on defense, I'm going to a guy that they showed in Hard Knocks in his hometown. I'm going Joe Andreessen. I want to see more like his explosives. He almost had that pick in that game and the fumble recovery. It's just
and Brandon said he has to make that catch.
Right, yeah, he did have to make that catch. So he had 2 chances there. I'm hoping maybe this game he can redeem himself. Maybe get a turnover, like a strip sack, or maybe one of them balls pop up in the air, and this time he catches it. Maybe he runs it down for maybe a good 30-yard gain, or if he's close to the goal line, get that touchdown like Matt Milano did in that Tennessee game. But yeah, he's one of my guys that I'm spotlighting on defense, and then a guy on offense. I'm looking for Elijah Moore. I want to see if Josh plays. I'm sure they'll connect on a route where he's going to go the distance or go maybe for a 30-40 yard game. But I would like to see Trubisky or Mike White connect with Elijah Moore, and I just want to see what he can do on our offense, because that signing I thought it was going to be a really good signing, but he hasn't been doing much yet on offense. So I'm hoping he can have a breakout game in this preseason number 2 game.
I love that, Tommy. Now, Bills Mafia says these preseason games get me nervous. All I get is notification about guys getting hurt or out for season through the NFL. Throughout the NFL, I just want them to make it through the game with no serious injuries. If
100% Mafia.
I agree. I don't want no broken fingers. I don't want nothing.
Yeah.
Just get out this game healthy. And I'm glad Taron Johnson was okay last week, thankfully.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he plays like no. I mean, he thinks the preseason game
he plays like Taylor Rapp.
I just love his aggressiveness. Like it just tells like he wants to succeed. He wants that ship. I could just tell the way he plays. He wants that championship for Buffalo.
He does,
that's a guy we need. That's a leader. That's a guy we need on defense.
Most definitely. Now, my player spotlights, I'll start with the defensive side because you start with the offense. I'm going to say Dorian Strong. Maxwell Harrison's out. You got to make the most out of your opportunity.
Yeah.
Christian Benford did it. He battled out, our first-round pick in that year's draft in Kyrie Elam. And McDermott and company on the defensive coaching staff is good at producing great talent in the later rounds. And I think Dorian Strong could be another example of that, and as well as Jordan Hancock as well.
Yeah.
Now, again, like I said, with Maxwell Harrison already being out, you got an opportunity. You're going up against DJ Moore's, and you're going to go up against Roma Dunze's and Luther Burden's if the starters don't play, which I think they will. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, I want to see how Keon Coleman looks. I want to see you get open against a guy like Jalen Johnson, who, in my opinion, is a top 5 corner in the NFL. He's not treated like it, but he is. And I'm gonna highlight Keon Coleman this week. I want to see something from you, big dog.
I like it.
Now, Tommy, give me your score prediction.
Okay, the score prediction here. Of course I'm going to go with the Bills. So I'm going to say it's going to be somewhere in between the lines of maybe like 28-24. I'm going to say 28-24 Bills.
I like that. I'm gonna go 31-21 Bills.
Ooh,
I think Mitch Trubisky, he wants to beat them. He wants to beat them Bears. Last time he was with Buffalo, he dotted up that team 3 years ago, whatever it was. But he dotted them up, and I'm sure Mitch Trubisky still has that chip on his shoulder.
Oh yeah.
And I can't wait to watch this game. And again, I think this would be a perfect time, Tommy, to talk a little bit about where they can find us, where everybody can find us on social media.
Okay, guys. You could find us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, all your media resources at Do Champions.
Yes, to make sure you stay up to date on everything for the upcoming game against the Bills, as I will be there, and all of everybody.
Good luck at that game. I'm wishing you luck out there, man. Bring us that W.
I'll try, man. I went to the Packers Jets game last week. I got shit for being a Bills fan. It was weird. Like Buffalo, I'm like, yeah, we're better than y'all.
Oh,
so
awesome.
Yeah, actually, it's like 10 or 11 comments. I'm like, oh
wow,
my gosh, like, damn, my brother's wearing a Bears jersey. You don't say nothing to him. You're talking to me. Go Bills. But yeah,
hey, you want to give us the roundup on our shows and everything?
Yeah, make sure you check out the Buffalo Combat Zone every Monday as Alex Miley, Alex Cullen, and Randall Siffler are in their combat zone as they debate and catch up on all things Bills. Make sure you check out the Coast to Coast podcast, followed by the Almighty Whittle and Beyond 716. And those guys just bring the heat every week.
They always do.
Make sure you check out me and Tommy every Thursday at the Bills Canvas here at 8:00 Eastern.
Yep.
Make sure you check out Chasing Data every Friday.
Yep.
And he's a Ravens fan. He covers all things. We let him slide, but not week one. But right now, he's fine.
He pulls out all the data, though, on all the NFL content.
Yeah, that's our data guy. He does very good, covers everything NFL. He just finished his offseason power rankings, which was very good. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you check that out. Yep. And make sure you check out my show, The Gridiron Grand Slam, as I am playing Madden 26. And last week, I destroyed a kid. So definitely a few good clips out of there.
Nice. And
from me, Tommy, and everybody watching now and or watching replay, I want to say thank you. And let's go get a win on Sunday and everybody be healthy.
Yes, sir.
And thank you, Biz Mafia. Thank you, Julie.
Thank you, Mafia. Thank you, Julie, for the comments. And good to be seen. And as always, let's paint, Pat.
Let's paint. Good to be seen. Let's go, Bills.
Let's go.
For the best Italian food in Western New York, Elliot Apollos, call 716-825-3675. The Lardon Construction Group.
Fubo TV, the official streaming service of Do Champions. FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Do Champions.
For all your summertime needs, beauty pools, as well as kayak pools.
CX Chronicles, your total customer solutions focused manager. W.GG, the official energy drink of Do Champions.
Hey, Sons of Erie, our artwork looks better on your walls. Hamburg Brewing, please visit our tap room on Boston State Road, Hamburg, New York. And finally,
Fat Boy Surf Club for all your surfing needs.